Hey, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and this is where we help everyone to be a software engineer by teaching you how to develop Flutter, and I hope you can share the video to other people so that we can create more software engineers in Africa. So let's get started. So from the previous video, we learned how we can create a Flutter project, setting up the Flutter project, Flutter SDK on your machine, and we know that so far. So now, for now, we know this command. So once you have this command, then you can create your project. So I'm going to call the project to be Richard, and this is going to create, my project and put it inside the folder called Richard. So it's going to create this project for me. And after that, after it's completed, we'll be able to launch it. It's completed. Then let me open it in my VS Code editor. So I'll be able to run the project. So this is what I have. I have like a folder here, which is rib, and this is where you will put your codes of your project. So how do you do that? It's pretty much straightforward. But first of all, let's compile the project and see the output on the screen. That is the important thing. So how you do that in VS Code, you hit F5 on your keyboard just to debug. Then you choose the emulator of you want to debug on. I'm going to choose the first option as my debugging option. So while I'm waiting, I'm going just to go over from how we have been doing stuff from running Flutter in a browser now on how we can run Flutter on our mobile device. As you can see now, things are going to be much more interesting because now we have a device which can be on your mobile phone, your physical mobile phone, and this device, you're going to write the same code that we have been writing in the browser, then be able to run the same code on on your phone. So, and that's where you start to see that the SDK, the Flutter SDK, is the framework that can be used both on website and on mobile phones. Today and from now on, we are going to start to see the real world uh, part of it of Flutter. So I'm waiting for the compiler to compile. You can see that it has already compiled the project. I'm going to minimize to leave the room here. So let's also minimize these things. Let me close it. So now I have a list. I have my project. So we know that every Flutter project need to be in a main methods, and we have to call this run app, and we pass the class of the app we want to run, and that is something that we are familiar with. Something that we are not familiar with is just interacting with our demo. For example, I can click here and increment this number from uh, from 0 to any number of uh, we want. So how to do that? I'm going to implement the same solution that we see here so that you see behind the scene what is going on. So before that, let me show you, like, this is the code that is doing the things, but I'm going to delete them and show you how you can do it. Um, how you can do it. Let me copy this code first. Let me delete everything. So I'm going to delete these things because I don't need it. So now we see that we need to create this class, which is called my app. So the things I'm going to do is going to this folder rib, right click on your machine, on your keyboard, then call it my app, my app underscore view. So I like to call the pages as views. So you will understand the logic behind once we are more advanced. But for now, this is the normal naming convention. So now I'm going to create status widgets. So I'm going to create a class called so I'm going to create a class called my app view. And as we learned, we need to extend the class from stateless, and this is going to be stateless widget. So of course, once you extend the stateless widget, you need to override some class, and this is what you need to know. So far, we have been writing this code here. So now we are going to return widget, and one of the widget is we know that we need to put it inside the material app. So, and in material app, we know that of course we need to pass the home, and one of the home known widget uh, we can pass is called scaffold. So scaffold is just the material widget, which is best suited to be used at the parent of other widget. This is why most of the time the Flutter widget starts with the material widget, then sometimes not necessary, but the scaffold is somewhere at the top of the other widgets. So now we have scaffold. Then inside the scaffold we have something called we have this floating action button. So you see this button here. So once we call this floating action button, then we can have, because like this white screen is what we call scaffold. Okay, this entire white screen of you see here on the screen is what we call scaffold. So then on the scaffold, we have the floating action button. So which means that whenever you call this property and you pass it a floating action button, then automatically you are going to see the floating button showing on the screen. So now that's what we have. And of course, we don't want just to show the floating up action button alone. We also want to show the body. So the body, consider the body as this part that is visible at the center, this button and the incrementation of it. So now on the body, we are going to put the normal text, and this text is going to be I'm going to take so let me put the variable here. So I'm going to call it maybe I know counter, because we'll be counting something, and this counter is going to be integer. Then I will be having this counter here. Yes, I'll be having this counter here, so I can, like, whenever when you click it, then it's going to show whatever value we have on the counter. Then we need this should not be a final, because like once you make it to be final, that means that it cannot be changed at runtime. So now you can see that when someone click on this on placed, so we need somehow to call a function that is going to increment these this this counter here. So let me create this function. So like once you click there and you click on this right bar here, you can go to create a methods. So once you go there, it's just going to create this method for you so you can feed it. So what do we want to do here? We want to make sure that this counter is incremented. So we can do like this. So like whenever someone click on that counter, we need to take the value that it has at the moment, then add another value. So this code is the same as like adding one. So that's what we have. But we have a problem. So let me change my code here. So you see that on main, I need to call this class we called my app. So once I change it here, then I need to import it from my package, which is Richard, then my app view. So now this is going to somehow show something. Um, so now we have this bug that in unimplemented handling of missing static target. So let's see what has gone wrong. So here I'm returning the stateless widget and see. Okay, so what is going on? Why? So let me restart. So you can see that after restarting, the screen is empty and we can see that the error is gone. So basically that was not error, but you can see that you don't see anything at the center of the screen. So let's use another widget called center. So we have seen this widget and how we can use them. So let's put this widget to the center and try to see something again. We can see that our counter hold a null value. What does that mean? It means that this variable declared here at the at top has nothing at the moment. And whenever we click this button, which is going to increment this value to a value of one. So let's put a breakpoint here. So like when you click there, you can see that we are able to reach there. And this is how you can even debug if your codes are working. So let's go there. You can see that even though I have updated the value to have another the value by incrementing it by one, then the UI is not able to change. So, and this is where I'm going to explain to you guys the difference of stateless and stateful widget. So basically, a stateless widget is a widget that doesn't have any state or any consideration of what is being changed within the app. You can see that I have changed the value of a counter to be implemented by one. But because I'm using the stateless widget, then the UI doesn't know anything about that change. So that is why, because I'm changing the UI, I need to change this stateless widget from stateless to a stateful widget. And this is what I've done. So the I changed the stateless widget from stateless widget to a stateful widget, which means I'm going to be able to listen to the UI change, then show that change that I have inside the app. So because now we are in a stateful widget now, and this is where we are changing the state of application, then I can state the state of application to be here. So now once we click the button, we'll be sure that because we are changing the state of the UI, then we can see the change on the UI. So you can see that let's see if I here. So let's restart. Let's give it a hard restart. Let's click it again. Then you can see that we're able to reach there. Hmm. the value is still null. Okay, now let's start this value by 0. Start this value by 0. And let's restart it again. Start. So now we have 0. Then let's click it again. You can see that the value is incremented. So you can click it the way you want, then it's going to increment. That's how you can use the stateful widget, and you understand the difference of stateful widget and stateless widget. And we have successfully implemented this button so that whenever a user click on this button, is able to increment the value from 0 to any number of incrementation that is made on this button. So that is a simple introduction of how we are going to move on with our Flutter class, where we take from a simple concept and keep adding on. I encourage you to watch my video so much and you follow along. If you have a question, ask me, post in a WhatsApp group. And when I'm free, when I have a free time, like after work, I'll be able to answer your question, and we can have a community of Flutter developers. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.